I hope that they like the final product as much as we liked making it.
I mean, these were really hard roles to cast. You know, I think we went through a number of Jackies, you know, before we found Edison, and just were thrilled to get him. And same thing with Will's character, Wei. We just had trouble finding those actors, and had trouble finding actors who could connect. As I said, that was really critical. So it's worked out.
Okay, guys, I'm going to bother you again, but did you have any misconceptions that were kind of crushed when you came into recording this? About video games in general, or voice acting for video games? You're both kind of pros, though, so you probably didn't, did you?
I don't know, just the helmet, man. The helmet.
Can you describe the helmet a little bit more? Like, how did it feel your first time wearing it?
I don't know, they have a few different sizes, and my head is kind of small, but the small was a little too small for my head, so it was a little tight. But it was interesting because not only was there someone in like a sound room and in the room, there was someone on the internet watching us doing our thing. So we had like 3 people kind of judging what we were doing, so it was like trying to please everyone at the same time was a little interesting. Yeah.
Do you want anything to add, Justin? You look like you're ready.
No, but I mean, I will say that for Will at least, we actually had him in the motion capture suit for a few sessions. So for those of you who don't know, a motion capture session is you actually wear a suit with little tracking walls and records your entire body, and you then take that and clean it up and put it into a game. And Will was a real trooper. I think that was, it's interesting because there's no actual cameras, there's cameras all around you, and he did an amazing job.
You look like a walking Christmas tree, basically.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not very masculine.
But it's very tight.
You pull it off, though.
I think we've got some photos here.
Now you said that the Infernal Affairs series is very influential in the game. Is there any direct nods? I mean, we get this a lot from the community and stuff like that. Are there any direct nods to Infernal Affairs in there?
I mean, just the fact that you're playing an undercover cop, you know, in the HKPD. You know, obviously there isn't that NYAFF, you know, that there isn't like, you know, more like in the police force as well. But yeah, that was the thing that intrigued us the most, like, you know, about the movie, somebody in that position. I mean, there's a lot of great undercover cop movies made, but I think it wasn't until we saw this one that, you know, like I said earlier, I think it just, from a tonal standpoint, you know, the fact that it was set in Hong Kong, and, you know, it just signaled a sort of shift from like a lot of the other movies we'd seen prior to that. It brought more weight, it was more serious, and you know, just the portrayals in the movie, like the characters were amazing. Like Tony Leung, I think, did an absolutely fantastic job in that film.
Adding to that, is there any like special creative freedom that you found that was enabled by setting the game in Hong Kong? Like, was there any unique freedom that you had as game designers because of the game was in Hong Kong, as opposed to being in, let's say, New York or something like that?
Well, I think it's, you know, it's key. I mean, for those of you that don't know, like oftentimes the central character, like in an open world game, is actually the city. So, you know, no one has made an open world game in Hong Kong before, so we really wanted to go there. You know, Edison touched on this earlier, but you know, architecturally and geographically, the city is just unbelievable. Like the differences you get between, you know, like North Point, you know, just it's so dense and bustling and alive and traditional. And then, you know, you have central, like the financial and commercial areas down there, which feel completely different. Like some of the most iconic buildings, you